Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. Day one of the legal tampering period has begun. No one really knows what that means. People are being signed, people. They're not signing on the dotted line, where they're coming to agreements, players and teams. So we're going to come here, we're going to talk about the ones that were most important to me because I run this channel. We're going to start with number one, Nick Foles, to sign with the Jacksonville Jaguars. 4 years, $88 million, about $50 million guaranteed. And I'm a Tennessee Titan fan, and I'm a happy man today. Now look, I understand Nick Foles is the Super Bowl 52 MVP, and deservedly so. What a game he had against the New England Patriots. It was fantastic. It was terrific. Philly special. All of that was great. And then when Carson Wentz went down again this season, he led the Eagles, got them into the playoffs, and got them very close to winning. Actually, they won a playoff game and got them pretty close to winning the divisional game. Okay, so I understand all of that. I get it. But there's a difference between that and Nick Foles leading you through a 16-game schedule. You don't want it. Okay, you just don't want Nick Foles being your quarterback for 16 games for an entire season. You just don't want that. In terms of the playoffs, yes, he has ice in his veins. He's ready to go. That's why he's a backup quarterback. He's a guy that you put in for those circumstances. But we saw him with the Philadelphia Eagles without Chip Kelly, right? How he did there. We saw him with the LA Rams. And yes, that was with Jeff Fisher. No one did well with Jeff Fisher. But we saw him. He struggled mightily. Through 16 games, you're going to look at Nick Foles and you're going to say, hey, he's just not very good. This is one of the bottom quarterbacks in the NFL, bottom 10, maybe at best average, but that is freaking pushing it, and they just gave this guy $22 million per year. As a Tennessee Titan fan, what is my biggest fear? The Jaguars not get Nick Foles, but they get their own version of Andrew Luck, that they get their own version of Deshaun Watson, that they get a young quarterback that I'm going to have to be afraid of for the next decade plus. But they got Nick Foles, a 30-year-old who, yes, looks great in the playoffs, but throughout a 16-game season has struggled again and again and again and again. I'm not afraid of that. And yes, I understand they have John DeFilippo, okay, who was a quarterback coach for the Philadelphia Eagles during that run with Nick Foles, and now they signed him to Jacksonville and they're hoping to rekindle some of their magic. I just don't see it through 16 games. And then you also look at this. Look at the supporting cast in Jacksonville. It's not the supporting cast that was in Philadelphia. Philadelphia had one of the best offensive lines in the league. They had Alshon Jeffrey, they had Nelson Aguilar, they had Trey Burton, they had Zach Ertz. Look at what they got in Jacksonville right now. They got Leonard Fournette, who, yes, he has the name Leonard Fournette. I'd love to have that name. My name sucks compared to the name Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette's averaging 3.7 yards per carry in his NFL career. His rookie year was 3.9, and last year was 3.3. Now, you may blame that on the Jaguars' offensive line. Go ahead. It's the same Jaguars offensive line. They're shuffling some guys right now, trying to figure it out. It ain't fixed yet. Look at the other skill positions right now. D.D. Westbrook, okay, he can do some things. Is he a number one wide receiver right now in the NFL? Not to me. Is he maybe a 1B? I think you're pushing it. I think he's a number 2 at best right now. You got Ben Koyak as your starting tight end. That's who I'm supposed to be afraid of. Marquise Lee, who, yes, can do some things if he's healthy, but he's never healthy. I am not afraid of this Jaguars offense with Nick Foles, Leonard Fournette, who's had no success behind this Jaguars offensive line, D.D. Westbrook, Marquise Lee, and Ben Koyak. Okay, and DJ Chark. I mean, I'm not afraid of that. I mean, how are you telling me that's going to be a good offense for years to come? I'm not buying it. I'm not believing in it. And thank you, Jacksonville, for signing Nick Foles. I think this was a mistake, and I think it'll be proven after about 2 years. With that said, we move on to my Tennessee Titans as they signed wide receiver Adam Humphries, and this is a signing that I like. Now, I'm not going to be biased to come out here and say, oh, what a great signing. This pushes us over the top or go going to the Super Bowl. Yay. I'm not going to say all that. But remember, I said in my Tennessee Titans offseason preview, this is one of the guys that we should circle and go after. We need this type of reliable slot wide receiver that can move the chains consistently. You saw that from him last season. Only one drop from Adam Humphries throughout the entire 2018 season. Love seeing that. Came down with almost 900 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, moved the ball consistently, caught 73% of his targets. This is the perfect weapon for Marcus Mariota. You just get Delaney Walker back, you get Adam Humphries. Guess who's going to be moving the chains? Those two. You have Corey Davis outside making the occasional play, and actually not even the occasional play, making consistent plays. Let's get him to 1,000 yards this upcoming season. And then Taywan Taylor, who I don't love, honestly. I still think we should go after wide receiver, but Taywan Taylor, who can go stretch the field, and then we'll catch about 50% of those, right? He's still going to drop the ball even on go routes, but that's okay. Okay, now our wide receiver core is looking okay. Remember, I went into last year and I said, this wide receiver core is not good enough. Right now, I look at it and I say, okay, it's good enough. Now, I still want it to be a little bit better because I'm greedy. I still believe this team should, if they're available, should draft A.J. Brown or N'Keal Harry in round 1. Now, they don't have to be at the top of your board. If you like Christian Wilkins better, that's fine. If you like edge rushers, Brian Burns, or somehow Montez Sweat falls, but I highly doubt it, or Clelin Ferrell out of Clemson, some edge rusher or some defensive lineman or even some offensive lineman that you like more than them, I'm okay with that. But if, let's say, all those guys are gone, you're not in love with any of the edge rushers, you're not in love with any defensive linemen, take A.J. Brown or N'Keal Harry, wide receiver out of Ole Miss and wide receiver out of Arizona State, because I think that takes our offense to the next level. Now, I don't like the interior offensive line right now. Okay, that's the biggest secret with Quinton Spain being left to walk away, Ben Jones still in the middle, and Josh Klein at the right guard. I don't love that. But if you're telling me we got Corey Davis, we got Adam Humphries, we got, let's say, N'Keal Harry, Delaney Walker, we're having a good conversation about our passing unit next season. A much better conversation than we've ever had. That would be the best wide receiver core we've ever had. Now, we said that like in 2013 after we drafted Justin Hunter, and we had, oh, Kendall Wright and Justin Hunter and Nate Washington. This is the best wide receiver core we've ever had. And it really didn't work out. But that one would work out to me. So I'm still greedy. You guys know I love wide receivers. I see the plays that they're making in today's NFL. I love to get another one, but it's okay. If we get an edge rusher or a defensive lineman or interior offensive lineman, I'm okay with that too in the draft. Or if we sign them in free agency, I'm okay with that. But this was a very good signing. This is what we needed, a chain mover. He's not a guy that's going to make great plays, but he's going to move the chains consistently, and that was a big problem for us this season. And he's perfect next to Marcus Mariota, who excels in that short to intermediate range. So love this signing here for the Tennessee Titans. And you look at the money, 4 years, $36 million, $9 million per year. Now, some people like Jared Stillman will complain that it's too much money. I mean, just look at how much people are getting paid. I mean, everyone's complaining that everyone's overpaid. People, that's just the way it works. The cap keeps going up. The NFL salary cap keeps going up and up and up, and people are going to continue to get quote-unquote overpaid. Sammy Watkins got $16 million 2 years ago, and I kept hearing he's overpaid. So Adam Humphries got half that. Is Adam Humphries almost half that? Is Adam Humphries half the wide receiver Sammy Watkins? I would say so. So I'm happy with this deal. Let's continue to move forward. With that said, let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, who made 2 significant moves today. First of all, they plan to sign Malik Jackson, the defensive tackle formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And make no doubt about it, Jackson struggled this past year as a part of that Jaguars defense. But honestly, looking back at the film, I thought he kind of mailed it in. I don't think he's really losing his strength, losing his force, losing his power from the line of scrimmage. I don't really see that. So I think this is a great addition to that Eagles defensive line. You pair him next to Fletcher Cox. You have Derek Barnett still. I think Brandon Graham signed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he did. So the Eagles defensive line is back to being very dominant. And you have to love that because they were the unit that was your strength when you won the Super Bowl. So we're back to being a strength there after losing Michael Bennett. And then the Eagles also traded for Desean Jackson. And I think it works. I think it's going to end ugly. I can't remember how many years he has left on his deal. Let's say he has 3 years. It's probably 1 or 2, but let's say it's 3. Probably by that 3rd year, it'll be ugly, but I think for 1 year, it'll work. I think Carson Wentz and Desean Jackson will make some magic. I think he's a great pairing across from Alshon Jeffrey, and also working with Nelson Agholor, going in and out of slot together, them rotating and switching around. I love that combination. That is perfect. They still have Zach Ertz there as well. They have Dallas Goedert, who's ascending as a talent. So, I mean, I think the Eagles look absolutely great. They still made the playoffs last year. They should return to the playoffs yet again, and to me, win the NFC East. I think they're in possession with the NFC East. The big question is, can Carson Wentz stay healthy? Nick Foles is no longer there. You're going to have to stay healthy. But right now, I love what the Eagles are doing. And as far as I know of the compensation, Adam Schefter, we're going to trust him on this, because some other people have been saying some different stuff. But Adam Schefter said that the Buccaneers only gave up a 2019 6th round pick, and they got Jackson and a 2020 7th round pick. So those picks are irrelevant. I mean, maybe one of those 6th round picks ends up being a 200 round, but I doubt it, right? Let's bet against that. So I love the deal. You just have to pony up the money, and you have the money, so why not? And then we move on to the Detroit Lions, who, man, have been spending money today. My goodness, the Lions have been making it rain. We have 4 signings. We're going to talk about 3. Let's start with Trey Flowers, the defensive end of the New England Patriots, now going to be playing for the Detroit Lions. And I like this signing. Now, he's not a guy that's gotten double-digit sack totals yet, but I think he will. I think this year he had really high pressure numbers, the highest of his career thus far. His Pro Football Focus grade was out of the roof. It was like 89. That was good for 6th in the league, and he's always been a consistent run defender. He's coming from that Patriots system and, you know, mentality, and he worked under Matt Patricia, who is the head coach now of the Detroit Lions. So I just see no way he doesn't translate to your team very easily, very seamlessly. So you already know you have a fit for your system. You already know what you're getting character-wise. Yes, you paid him $16-17 million per year, and that's a hell of a price to pay. But you look at the Lions right now, outside of Matthew Stafford, Kenny Galladay, I mean, who else do we really gotta pay right now? I mean, we're not really in love with anyone on this roster, so I'm fine paying Trey Flowers and adding him to this unit. They also added 2 members on offense, Jesse James and Danny Amendola. Jesse James I like. He's an average NFL tight end, not much better than that, but he could improve actually and maybe end up becoming a top 10 tight end. But regardless, you already know you're getting a 500-600 yard tight end here. Matthew Stafford could use that. No more Levine Toilolo. Okay, so we like that conversation. And then Danny Amendola, look, he's a good fit next to Stafford. Stafford's going to use him and use him well. TJ Jones wasn't ready to become the consistent number 3 for this team. You can see that last year. So Danny Amendola, slide him in. He still has a couple of years left. You can get 500 receiving yards out of him, and I'm sure Matthew Stafford will do that. And finally, we end with the Washington Redskins. We stay in the NFC East as they sign Landon Collins, my goodness, to a 4-year, $64 million contract. And whoa, they ponied up the cash here. And the Redskins, you guys just keep having this, you know, turntable at strong safety the past number of years. I remember DJ Schweringer was there. You guys trying to play Suet Cravens as strong safety, but I think now you're settling here with Landon Collins as strong safety for the Washington Redskins. So the Redskins, I mean, no one really knows what they're doing. I think they believe that they're going to compete this year. And who knows? Maybe they will. I've been wrong before, but that's what this contract indicates to me. Or maybe you're just getting pieces and pieces for the next regime, because I just feel like this is just a throwaway year for the Redskins. Let's just kind of tank. Let's get Jake Gruden out of here and let's just try again. But at least now you're going to have a definitive place on defense here. And I think your defense actually should be quite good, because I like the way you've been drafting lately. Deron Payne last year, Jonathan Allen the year before that. You also saw the outside linebacker out of Alabama, Ryan Anderson, do some good things last year. Ryan Kerrigan getting older, but still a good player in his own right. Zach Brown, what a great signing he's been for you. So I like your defense right now, but offense, there's just so many questions. Wide receiver position right now is just straight up ugly. I mean, let's just call it what it is. And the quarterback situation, Case Keenum, I'm not excited about that. Darius Geis, hopefully offensively, running back position, he can come in and make a huge impact. He missed his entire rookie season. So I think the offense is a joke. I think the defense is good, and hopefully that's a good enough combination for you. I don't think it will be, but I think Landon Collins will definitely help with that. So although you paid a heavy price, I like the price, because again, it helps to solidify your defense. moving forward. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on day one of NFL tampering period. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.